Hey guys, it's Will. So BigBear.AI just dropped down about 4% today, and we're going to go over the moves, what they mean, and what we saw happen today. But also, here's the thing about Big Bear. They are gearing up for what could be a continuation in 2026, but also realize last time around this year, we saw them really consolidate out, even sell down into January, and then rocket and make their run to 3 or 4x up to that $10 range. So right now, they are selling down a little bit. You see a little bit of a downward pressure here as they've continued to kind of sell down here back to that 200-day moving average, that green line that seems to act as a support quite oftentimes in the longer term trends. And they did bounce pretty nicely back on the 17th and continued up. Just a little bit of a correction here today. And now we're saying, okay, are we going to see maybe this here where they get rejected, kind of sell back down, and you're starting to see maybe what would be continued back down into these ranges in that $5.50 support that we know so well back through November and really back into the summer as well over here, this 550. That's where they're at right now. It's a key level for them, that $6 level. And so it's possible, once again, you see that rejection, and they sell back down further into that $5.50 range. But in the short term, they also are poised for this breakout. We saw them surge with this V-shaped pattern from that sell-off that was last week, and then they recovered nicely to the end of the week. And while they pulled back today, they still kept some of their recovery gains, and they do have a key level of resistance that they've recently pulled back down to. So again, from a technical standpoint, you got this level here at $6, and they've sold back down into this range, potentially either getting rejected and shooting back down into that $5 level, or holding this resistance level that they previously established, and it's going to act as a support, and then we see them start to break out potentially. Now the breakout would look something like this. So breaking back up into this $7.50 range, that would be a 20% increase. And then potentially, of course, the overall trend that most investors are watching with Big Bear is this trend, kind of seeing them continue up into that $10 range. But they got some work to do before they get there. Currently, you do see some growth in the AI world in defense as spending continues to ramp up. They saw some generic opportunities with the TSA screening. So the Department of Homeland Security at the airports, the TSA checkpoints, they were requesting information on what seemed like the exact same product that you have at BigBear.AI, which is a AI-driven threat detection and remote screening system with biometric ID verification that is AI and machine learning driven for carry-on checked baggage along with remote screening, and to reduce reliance on manual labor, incorporate AI-driven threat detection and remote screening. This was a $5.4 billion potential that they released into this summer that we haven't seen any big updates on since. Once we saw BigBear.AI deploy their large deployments into all of the airports with this VeriScan technology that scans the face of all of the people at the airports, and they got this out into Denver and New York and others. Once that happened, what happened? Their financials increased. As far as their balance sheet, they saw more assets, and they increased their assets up to 800 million or 900 million, excuse me, an 800% increase on the cash. Now, in our daily live trading this morning, we were just talking about it. We're there every day, Monday through Friday. If you ever want to tune on in, it's the second link in the description below for StockMate. Would love to see you there. We were just talking in our live session this morning about how the shorter term trades for a company like Big Bear or in the data center market require more of a plan. For example, one of the tools, and I'll leave it down in the third link if you guys want to grab it. It's that profit plan, right? We use this risk management, and we have clear risk management. So a good example would be, clear stop loss with a target profit. And while we hold it long term, we also look for the short term swings. And what some of the shorter term swings could present would be this kind of holding above this 200-day moving average, the support level holds, and they continue up into this $9 to $10 range. And that would be kind of the perfect trade, right? Now, with the general market having a nice recovery, Google went up, Taiwan Semiconductor was up, Meta, Apple, SPY was up today, along with some data center stocks there in Iran and AristaNet. The reality is that just even though they got the financials increased and they saw more of the balance sheet, if the market is going to be focused solely on the companies that have solid financials, they are still far away. Okay, they're good, but they are far away on the revenue. The revenue has not increased. So the revenue is currently sitting right around $33 million in revenue. That's not enough per quarter for them to justify the $2.6 billion market cap. Now, with the increase on the balance sheet, they got more cash. That's great. But BigBear.AI, they acquired an AI company recently. They got more deployments into the airports. They have dozens of deals. They work with the Department of Defense. They partnered with Palantir recently on a lot of their stuff. They got the modeling. They're in the Panama Canal, as we mentioned. And we see them get some of their defense tech out into the world. Nevertheless, in that solution, in that they still haven't seen that revenue increase. So that's why right now we could see them potentially. You know, you're watching that sell down. It's like you like to see that 200-day moving average hold. The theory would be that, and this is just a fact, millions of people are going to be coming into the United States for the World Cup and for the FIFA World Cup and the Olympics. And so you got the VeriScan technology that in theory would be scanning millions of people at the airports and even partnered with some of the individual airlines to have a lot of data that as a defense company like BigBear.AI, they would benefit from, that they would be able to get more contracts like their Army contracts or their Department of Defense contracts as a result. Now, that's what we're looking at with BigBear, and we'd like to see that projection continue. If we look at some of the projections, according to Prophecy app, it is anticipating that we're going to see that sell down here in the near term down to that $6 level, and then potentially looking like a recovery into the next week. Overall bullish targets with that $8 target, $8.89 according to Grok when we are looking at the Prophecy app. So 45% target. Part of that is the technicals. You see that overall trend we were just watching over the 200-day moving average. That's what the Prophecy app is considering with that $6 support level here. But the other side of that is also the fundamentals. And we see the fundamentals look better with their deployments. And the idea is that they have all this infrastructure that they've wanted to get out and deploy. And they're not worried about the money initially because that infrastructure will yield results in the future. So that's kind of the deal with BigBear. Again, support level at $6 and target near term up to $6.50 with a bullish target there. Okay, $6.50 to $7 a share. And then of course, longer term target, as I have been holding it since back here when we started covering it, not at $1 a share when we started covering it, but around $2.80. For those of you guys that would like to see the longer term positions as well, you know, I'm pretty transparent. We've been holding it since $2.80. But in the shorter term, if you want to see the entries, the exits, how we trade on a daily basis, the second link below in the description. And holiday sale, it's not getting better than this. If you want to go grab Prophecy app, get 1 year access to all of these and get our daily live trading as a bonus. In the second link below, you get access to the Prophecy app, the AI Max plan, which includes all the models, Grok, OpenAI, Claude, Gemini for the whole year, and you get access to StockMate. So holiday sale there, it's not getting any better than this. $200 off with the code down below. Go grab access before it goes away in the holidays. And I would love to see you get this 2026 on track and be a part of your success. Again, second link below for StockMate, first link for the Prophecy app here. One thing we recently added to the Prophecy app too is the AI generated watch list. So I can kind of like tell me what, let's say like electric vehicle companies there are, and I can just start to get watch lists built up and automatically add those things, let's say in these companies here, into my watch list, and it will just boom, it just added them into my watch list, AI generated. I also got the chat, I can ask it, I don't know, top nuclear companies, and I can jump in just like this and get the AI answers just like this. Here we are, look at that. And not only that, if I'm using the search, I could also just see my newly searched stocks, drop them in, get the projections for the next hours, days, weeks, months, years in advance with the same engine that I use to analyze my stocks. Let me know your comments down below on BigBear.AI. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.